Hi, I'm Alan Dabiri. I'm Technical Director on Heroes of the Storm, and we're here at E3 showing off the Eternal Conflict content for Heroes of the Storm.
Alan, talk about what you're showing here at E3 with Eternal Conflict.
Sure, so we've got this whole event called Eternal Conflict where really we're bringing the world of Sanctuary, the Diablo universe, into the Nexus. Up until now, we've had a lot of battlegrounds that have been new areas in the Nexus that are unique to the Nexus, and players have been asking to play on their familiar locations for quite some time, and so we're doing that now with the Eternal Conflict event. We're going to start with having a new battleground, the Battlefield of Eternity, which is an amazing map that's kind of taking heaven and hell and mashing it together and creating this really Diablo-flavored themed universe that players can play on. Along with that, we're also going to have multiple Diablo heroes that are coming. We've talked about the Butcher previously. Today we're also talking about Leoric, the Skeleton King, and we're just a little bit of a taste of the Monk as well.
Can you talk about some of the events that will happen on this map?
Sure. So on Battlefield of Eternity, basically the key aspect here is the Immortals. In the center of the map, there's an area where these two Immortals will spawn, one for your team and one for the opposing team. And basically these Immortals are duking it out in this epic battle, and you as the 5 members on your team and the 5 members on your enemy team are trying to influence that battle. So you can either decide to help your Immortal defend, you can try to actually take down the enemy's Immortal, but ultimately one of them is going to win in that battle. And when they do, that Immortal then goes and pushes that lane for you. So it's a very tight kind of area in the center of the map, so you kind of have a lot of different options. Do I want to defend? Do I want to just scrap with the other team, get in a team fight, or help take down the enemy's Immortal? So in addition to that, there's also another event going on with the whole Eternal Conflict where we're going to bring treasure goblins into the Nexus as well, and this is going to happen on all maps, not just on the Battlefield of Eternity, but basically at the beginning of the game treasure goblins will spawn and randomly spawn in. If your team can take it down, there's also a daily quest that goes along with it, and you can earn 100 gold to buy new heroes and other stuff.
So talk about what goes into deciding what heroes are going into the Nexus next, because I'm sure it's a long, complicated process.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors. I mean, it's partially what people are asking for in the community. It's partially what areas we're kind of lacking that we need to kind of help supplement in our roster. For example, with the Monk, people were really asking for a Diablo support, and so we wanted to fulfill that. And plus, the Monk is just a loved character from Diablo. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. The designers really think about what new role do we need, what game world or maybe are we underrepresenting, what are people really excited about. So a lot of factors go into it, and then there's some randomness that happens.
Can you talk about some of the new skins for current heroes that you'll be releasing when the Eternal Conflict comes out?
Sure. Yeah, we've got some great crossover skins. There's a Novazon skin for Nova. It's an Amazon from D2, actually. There's an angelic Diablo skin where it's Diablo in this very holy angelic imperious-looking form. That's pretty awesome. There's some cool skins also for Leoric and our other kind of launch heroes like the Monk as well. And then we'll even have some mounts too, some cool Diablo-themed mounts as well.
So talk about the Skeleton King. What's his role and abilities in this new expansion?
Sure. So the Skeleton King is a warrior, and his key kind of defining ability is his trait, which is called Undying. And literally it's that. He never leaves the battlefield. So even when Leoric gets taken down, he remains at his location as a ghost, as a spirit, and he can maneuver around the battlefield. He can still cast his abilities, but he doesn't do any damage while he's in ghost form. However, any secondary abilities that he has on those attacks do take effect, so any slows or things like that. In addition, when his death timer runs out, he reappears exactly where that ghost is, right back to join the battle. And if you cast any abilities that will heal you, that normally would have healed you, they end up decreasing that death timer. So if you kind of talent your Leoric a certain way, you can really kind of come back into battle very quickly. So as an enemy player, you can never ignore Leoric. Even after you've taken him down, he's not out of the fight. He's still going to be there, and you got to kind of, okay, where's Leoric? When is he coming back? A lot of his abilities, his abilities are Skeletal Swing, which is an arc attack that kind of swings in front of him and does massive damage and also slows. He's got a really cool skill shot on his W called Drain Hope, where it kind of shoots out this ethereal hand that if it can reach an enemy, it grasps them and clutches them, and he ends up tethering to that hero. And as long as that hero stays within this area of effect, he's life-stealing from the enemy hero. And then final ability is Wraith Walk. It actually allows him to detach from his kind of corporal form and maneuver around the battlefield. He can position himself and get behind a front line, an enemy line, and really get to those squishies. So it's a really cool ability.
You kind of teased the monk a little bit. One of the things you said is that he has a pickable trait when you first start out with him.
So Leoric doesn't have a pickable trait. It's actually the monk.
No, I said the monk. Yeah,
Yeah, the monk has a really cool ability as well, which is a difference than what we've done before. Traits usually really define the heroes. They kind of set the stage of what that hero is supposed to do. For the monk, we're doing something new, where at the beginning he doesn't have a trait at all. You pick it as your first talent. And if you want to go more healing, you can go that route. If you want to go more damage dealing, you can go that route. And so then based off of that, and also further talents that you pick, you can kind of pick the style of play. What kind of a monk do I want to play?
And my community would kill me if I didn't ask, what about a female Diablo skin?
It's been asked several times. We're looking at it. We wanted to kind of start with the older iconic Diablo, but yeah, it's definitely something we're looking at. We're trying to see when we can bring her in.